you feel underappreciated? Because I think that, like, I've skated with you a while ago, like It's Always Sunny in Arizona times, and you were just as good as anyone else. And like you're saying, like, I feel like I'm getting a vibe that you might feel underappreciated, which you might very well be. Do you feel that way?
I think it's just typical to rollerblading, and like there's got to be a ton of people that feel like I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so many people that are really good that don't get like recognition.
It's pretty common now.
Yeah, and it's like it's easy to do if you want to just like bite the bullet on the corniness, and like anyone can just like post a bunch of stuff on Instagram and gain followers and stuff. But I just want to.
You have your integrity and you won't do that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to just
water it down.
Yeah,
kind of.
Exactly. I don't want to water it down.
But you came back from all these breaks and everything, and you're skating better now than you ever were. So you definitely shut everybody up.
When you take a break from skating, you will come back and look at things a lot differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll see things different that you didn't see before. Like because you'll like subconsciously be thinking about it the whole time you're not skating, and then all of a sudden you get back to it and you have like new energy. It's like you started all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I just got lucky. Like I took a break, and then when I put my skates back on, was like twice as good as I was when I stopped skating. Like
because you like mentally grew.
Totally.
And you had like a better perspective on it. Like that's the thing. Like when it's like you can't see the forest for the trees kind of thing. When you're so like invested and deeply buried into something, you're not getting a good perspective on like what's good or what's, you know.
I would like that experience. I just don't have
you
the
don't
heart
want
to take a break. Yeah, I don't want to take a break, but I know exactly what you mean. When you don't do anything for a while and you come back, it's like a new perspective on it.
I just asked you the other day, remember you said you haven't even had like an injury that you thought would maybe like take your skating.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
No.
Okay, I broke tons of bones.
Dude, this guy got hit. I just watched that video. When you got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Dude.
You never seen it?
Oh, I've seen it, but I just rewatched it like a week ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
What prompted that?
I think.
For real.
Well, my heels have been bruised for the past month.
Really?
Like double bruised heeled, almost pulled a Shima. Like, I had.
You gotta explain how this happened, because I think it's such a dumb thing that you did. That happened.
Okay, I told you about it.
I know you told me.
So the Solomon skates.
People can learn from this mistake.
Solomon skates come with like a nub at the bottom of the boot, basically an extended frame bolt to like hold the shock absorber in place. I replaced the shock absorber, never cut that nub off, so I took like two 12-foot drops to like an uphill landing off of a rail, and just iced myself. Like after the first time I knew I shouldn't do it again, but like obligated because there's like we're out there with the gang and it's like I'm the only one skating at this spot, I have to do this. And I just tried it again and just fucked my shit up big time. So I've been like off the skates for like a month now.
And this is your first time pretty much back.
Yeah, when
skates,
we skated the other day at the skate park, Fountain Hills was the first time I had my skates on in almost 4 weeks.
And so you were saying that that's like one of those falls where you thought that you weren't going to be able to come back, because that was your whole point to that too. Like, have you ever had a fall where you're just like, oh, I'm never going to recover from this?
I like broke or fractured something. I don't have insurance, so I didn't go to the hospital, but I really messed my ankle up on Hollywood High like 2.5 years ago, like to the point where I was super depressed. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You never been in that situation, like where you just get like you don't think you're gonna be able to skate again, and you get super in your head. Like that shit sucks.
I do have one thing. I remember you were there this time too at PS6 in Staten Island. I was skating this spot, and I don't remember if you. I was trying to like back far off this drop ledge into a double set, and then hit like a down rail afterwards, and I went too far off the drop ledge and landed on the stair ride. So like a 10-foot drop to a stair ride, and I twisted my ankle. And I remember Mike Johnson was like, oh, that's it, you're done. Once you mess your ankle up, that's it, it's never the same again. And Billy, you were like, no, you'll be good, you'll be fine again in a few months, whatever. And it was like the devil and angel kind of talking, because Mike was like telling me how I wouldn't be able to skate again. And so I was like kind of worried, because I never had an ankle injury that serious. And you were like, no, you'll be fine in like a few months or something like that. So I was fine, and I just was never scared like that. And I did make a recovery.
You're probably just not remembering like the times when you were maybe thinking like, oh, this is it, because that's not a good feeling.
I never
had that.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, it sucks.
I've had that several times.
And it's like I love skating so much. Like I'll like give up everything else for it, and it's like to like think that I'm not gonna be able to do it again is just like.
I can't imagine that. Yeah.
And you know, I could say like you can really tell that when you're skating that you love skating, because it shows in your skating and that you're that good.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, like I wonder what What motivates you? Like, you're from Arizona, home state of Dustin Latimer. Who are your influences? Like, where do you? Because
Dustin.
I think you skate very different too. Like, you have your own unique style. That's like its own thing.
I mean, I grew up. Skating is a lot different than it is now. You know what I mean? Like back when I started, like I'm still like I'll get hate for like being the guys like, oh, there's not enough hammers going on. Like, but I really think like that's like a thing. Like I grew up watching people do bigger stuff, and I like to do bigger stuff. And for me, like when I'm skating, like I'm influenced by like every single person that I see skate. Like I'll take something from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I see someone do one thing and I like it, I'm gonna try like putting it into my routine or whatever, But I just like stick to what I know, and I like doing big things or like doing stuff that is like maybe pleasing for other people to watch, but it's more just for the feeling that I get after doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm just skating for myself, and that like feeling of just accomplishing something that you're not exactly sure you're going to be able to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then doing it, it's just like a feeling that
That's the
you
best.
don't get that feeling anywhere else. Just like, especially when it's bigger stuff or like I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody needs that no matter what they
Yeah.
do. Whether it's skating, it's just a hobby of yours. You need that as a person to push yourself in life, to make yourself motivated to do other shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could take it as like life lessons or whatever. It's just it's weird. I don't know where I get my motivation from. It's just like a self-motivation. Like just...
It's just like, it must be a vision then of what you think skating could be and how you think you can present it.
Yeah, totally. And I don't really watch skating too much. Like,
No?
no. Like
We were just watching your stuff earlier today.
You were watching it. I don't really...
But you don't do
You
that.
walked right past the TV with the quickness. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't doing that.
You don't get stoked when your skating's on the TV and you don't sit down and like to indulge at all?
No.
No?
Mm.
Not your
No.
personality type?
I don't really like... I mean, once a video is like finished and edited and done, released, I'll watch it 100 times in one day.
Mm-hmm.
The first day, and then I'll probably never watch it again.
You just
know
get
what I mean?
hyped in the beginning.
Yeah. But then I'm just like months later, I'm like, that's trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to watch it.
Do you feel like you're highly critical of your own skating or of skating in general?
Both.
Both.
Big time.
You're definitely critical of your own skating.
Well, yeah,
I know
I have
that.
a very limited vocabulary, so it's like,
Is that how you feel?
well, I mean, that's the truth.
Well, I don't believe that because
I don't think so either.
at the powwow, you skated in the best trick, the bowl, and
Yeah, very dynamic
and
skating.
like if you see me in a bowl,
But
I
you-
look like I'm a duck on
but-
skates.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't look good in the bowl.
We're
Same,
talking
same.
about
I
a
I stay
skate.
far away from the
We're
bowl.
talking about a skate park. Like, that's a
Yeah.
skate park.
Okay.
That's
All just
where I
different
thrive.
skate
But
park
you can
dynamics.
also function on street in a very...
You have never seen me true topside anything in street.
Okay, so because you haven't true topsided
You can't do everything.
that's
can't-
only a small thing.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You've never seen me full cab into anything on street.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Like a
So you're
full
very
cab.
aware of your own shortcomings.
Yeah. So I'm just sticking to what I know. But at the same time, I know.
I
like,
only do 8 tricks personally. So
Me
like
too.
Yeah, I do
top
I only do
souls, fish
souls.
brains,
Yeah.
royales.
stick to
If
what
you're
you
lucky,
know.
you get the sweat stains.
Yeah. If you're lucky.
If you
Unless we're playing a game of
If I'm
skate.
lucky.
Unless we're playing a game of skate.
right, but I don't think that the fact that you're not doing certain grinds doesn't mean that you're not dynamic on all these different areas
Yeah.
of skating, like skate park, bowl,
Mhm.
street. Like, not a lot of people can do that.
That's
That's tough to do. Like, I look to like Miguel and Joe Atkinson and
There's all park skaters.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta. Park skating.
but a lot
like
of park
growing-
skaters can skate street.
I know, but like.
You do
but
a good
no,
job
But no
fooling
strictly
everybody.
street skaters
Yeah.
can skate park. You
and
know
that's
what I
a
mean?
fact.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
that's a fact.
Well, I always had that theory too back in the day.
It's
Like,
calling me straight out.
yeah,
It's calling-
I had a lot of theories about that too back in the day
You know what I'm
because
saying? Though?
No, you're real.
People
That's
can't
real.
comprehend
It
transition.
hurts, but you're right.
yes. When people grew up in the 90s, it was more common too. I think when you grew up skating ramps at parks, you were a different kind of skater on the streets when parks weren't as common.
Dude, when I was a
Had more
kid,
control, I feel like.
when I was a kid, I remember like after getting my first pair of aggressive skates, like 2 years after, I would like come to kids at the skate park, like, you want to play skate? And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, okay, but no grinds. Like,
No way, you used to say that.
yeah, yeah.
So how do you play skate with no grinds for
Just
those? who might
180,
not know?
360,
Every other way,
540.
you know?
What do you have?
Toe rolls.
Spins and
Every
hand
other way.
plants, toe
Yeah,
rolls.
just jumps, stuff
Yeah.
that they weren't doing. I don't know.
That'd be an interesting game of skate. I'm kind of curious now to play a game of skate with no grinds because that's all I do is fucking grinds.
We
now,
could
you
try
know?
it later at the park.
We could try
You did
that
it today.
Yeah.
All right.
Just no bowl. That bowl is scary.
What are you talking about?
I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah, I mean,
And you know what's, I don't ever curse on the podcast.
he is right. It's true.
Yeah, I try.
I don't fuck with that bowl.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.